want it to be called Fast Triple X, because that would be more interesting to talk about. I'm sure somebody's done that as a movie. Yeah, I was going to say, I bet somebody's done that. You're doing what, you guy? No, you can't.
I do want to know. I do want to know how nitrous figures into that movie.
No, I was going to say, you can't have sex with him. He's HGV positive. But no, yeah, so Fast X. Actually, it's good that the boys aren't here because they've neither seen it. But the Fast X is now on streaming.
I'm very disappointed it wasn't called Fast 10, as in fasten your seatbelts.
Hey, that was my joke. I was saving that as well.
I said that joke months and months ago, all right? and Sean took my joke last week about Jesus seeing his shadow. So obviously we don't give a shit anymore who owns what jokes.
Yeah, we just rip each other off like all the companies do, recycling the same old crap. So the first of the Fast and Furious movies was Paul Walker was a policeman who was trying to infiltrate a gang who was stealing VHS players and CD players.
It was Point Break with street racing.
But it just makes me laugh, the fact it was CD players and VHSs, you know?
Yeah.
And that was back in, 2001, 1999, 2001?
2001.
Yeah, a long time ago. As I've mentioned this earlier, but then the last one, Fast and Furious 9, had cars in space. So somehow we've gone from here to here, and as opposed to, some people go through a character arc. This is just sort of gone to there, and it's just, every single one of them has got more out of hand. However, I do have to say that, and I unashamedly say this, the Fast and Furious movies are stupidly good fun. Stupid being the operative word there, but they are fun.
Yeah, I do like that throughout this series, I have found out that the laws of physics are merely suggestions of physics.
Guidelines the bit that still
of
gets me
at best
was when Michelle Rodriguez was flying through the air, so he crashes his car and flies. And again, it's just kind of like, yeah, physics. No,
why they didn't just turn into pulp when they hit? Because screw you, that's why. I've said this before, and I'm just at the risk of repeating myself. Why do I hate the Bayformer movies, and I like the Fast and Furious movies?
That is an excellent question, because I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah,
I would quite happily watch any of the Fast and Furious movies again, just for the giggles of it. The Transformers movies, not even if it's on TV, I'd skip through it.
I've basically said that the Transformer movies are basically Michael Bay looking at the audience going, this is cool. Don't you know this is cool? You're not cool if you don't understand how cool this is. And it's very arrogant. And the Fast and the Furious movies, they all are like, we get it. This is stupid. We know it's stupid, but we just want you to have a good time. We're just having fun here. I think the Onion did a great thing where they interviewed the writer of the Fast and the Furious. It's like a 5-year-old kid going, and then the car goes through the safe and it smashes into the roofer. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. How do you come up with that? And the kid falls asleep. Oh, he's all tuckered out.
Sorry, did you say that that's from a skit that you've seen? Have you?
It's like on the Onion or something like that. Yeah.
Sorry, like I say, I miss you saying that, but yeah, they are. That is so funny of the kids sort of writing these movies.
Because a kid writes, a 5-year-old would write this with unbridled enthusiasm, not caring about the logic, because it's just the joy of watching cars do stupid, ridiculous stuff. And then if you take away all the car stuff, it's pure soap opera. Like everybody who dies comes back, just like in a daytime soap,
Everybody's related to Dom.
Everybody's related to somebody, and it turns out it's my brother, And it's like it's pure soap opera pap with insane multi-million-dollar stunts, and it's like, you know what? fine. There's nothing woke in it. That's the other thing. It's like, here's a diverse cast that's diverse because it makes sense within that universe. It's not
Yeah.
because they're trying to shove some sort of asinine politics down my throat. It's because this is natural and organic and makes sense. I got no issues. I'm great.
And the
I
women,
love every,
and the
every
women are
character
tough.
is memorable.
And all the women are tough because they are tough. Again, it's not, I did like the fact that quite a few of the fights that have taken place, like Michelle Rodriguez against Ronda Rousey and Charlize Theron and stuff, it's girl on girl action.
Yeah.
Which is,
you don't have Vin Diesel punching out Charlize Theron, which would be.
No. And again, it's, the characters are actually done quite well. And like I say, as you say, it's a soap opera, but with it, like, I did like the fact that there's a couple of scenes where you've got these old crappy houses outside of LA, and outside is parked like $10 million worth of cars. Just sort of like, you just walking down the street going,
brought the submarine home. Oh, that's cool.
Who lives there then? I don't know. But yes, that car, there's only 3 of those cars in the world in there.
I gotta wonder what the real estate prices are, the land values around it. Like, oh God, living next door to those guys, something's always blowing up. Somebody's always smashing through something. They're dropping cars from space. This is a mess.
I was going to say, you'd like to move into that street, sir. What car do you drive? No, it is important. Oh, a Volkswagen. Oh, no, sorry, it's not available.
I absolutely enjoyed the movie. I'm talking earlier about how bored I am with these movies, but the characters are memorable. I know their names. I know Hobbs. I know Mia. I know Brian. I know Roman. I know Ramsey.
Jack and Uncle Jack
and Ludacris, because I just call him Ludacris. Yeah. But I mean Tej, but Han. I mean, you know all these people. I know Giselle, and it's like, why are these so memorable? It's like because they're just trying to entertain you. They're just trying to tell a silly story to entertain you. They are not trying to shove some sort of message down your throat. It's not that difficult. And it's not, yes, they are not smart movies. I'm okay with it.
There you go. Look, just to call this up, so Big Gator has just said there, because Fast and Furious is real people, at least Transformers movies have the CGI characters. That's an excellent point. I can't relate to a giant robot who turns into a truck, but I can relate to Vin Diesel. If I met Vin Diesel on the street, I'd be quite starstruck, but I would be crapping myself if a giant talking robot came up to me.
We've got a lot of CGI characters out there. We've watched Toy Story. Can you relate to the toys? Yes, you can. They're all CGI.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's not the method that's used to bring them to the screen. It all is in the writing, and it's all in the way you do it. Michael Bay does nonsense action with no motivation or every one of the Transformers movies, there's just nonsense. They don't have any. They have nothing to latch on to. You might latch on to Shia LaBeouf and their character, but they're written so poorly that you just go, I just don't like. They're not likable, and then you get to the Mark Wahlberg one where they have a big thing about consent laws and age of consent. It's like, what is this doing in a Transformers movie? What are you doing here? And Fast and Furious movies, none of them are like that. It's all okay. It's all about family. Well, that's not the worst message to put out to people.
Yeah. Even if, your family is everybody in the world. I did like the fact that his wife's or his missus, his son's mother got killed, but then he found her sister. And again, it's just, it's like I say, everybody's just kind of family. But like you said,
what is Fast X about, Phil? Why don't you give a synopsis of what the movie is about? Don't say 2.5 hours.
First of all, I just wanted to say that the only thing I did think during the movie is it is all about family, but at the same time, it also appears that if you have a family, it's a pain in the ass. because they're always getting kidnapped or shot at or whatever. And it's like, right, yeah, be on your own. There's no issue then. So Fast X is almost double five. Clever, actually. In Fast and Furious 5, they steal a safe of a local guy in Brazil who has been stealing and whatnot. He's a nasty guy, so they steal his safe and steal his money. It turns out he had a son.
Which
and
they
for 10
nicely
years,
retconned in the opening sequence of basically doing the same film, scenes from that film, but somehow put him in the. Okay, I'm good.
Because if you go back and watch Fast 5, you will not see, unless of course they change it for streaming, you will not see, what's his name, Jason Momoa in the background anyway. Unless, like I say, they decide to now alter the film. But yeah, so it's now 10 years later, and after the guy, I can't remember his name now, Reese, I think it was, dies, or Reigns, or whatever he's called, dies. His son is now out to get Dom and the family, but not kill them. He's going to make them suffer. And so he sets them up so it looks like they bomb the Kremlin, not the Kremlin, the Vatican, try to bomb
Vatican.
The Vatican. And basically plays with them throughout the whole movie to make them suffer and everything else, including trying to kidnap Dom's son. The movie, interestingly, and I'm not spoiling too much, but ends on a cliffhanger because apparently there's going to be Fast X Part 1, Fast X Part 2, and Fast X Part 3.
Oh, really? I thought it was only 2.
Apparently, the rumour is that Vin Diesel has been kind of hinting at the fact that there may actually be 3 of them. But again, it was just kind of like, right, so it's now Fast and Furious Part 10, Part 3. You know, it's a good job these people can't count or they'd be angry.
So it starts out showing the heist and how Jason Momoa's character got from 5, and inserting Jason Momoa's character into this, and they even brought back the actor that played Ray, whatever his name is, and how he got killed and everything, and then Momoa is full on batshit insane in this movie, and it's glorious. He is clearly having a good time.
I thought it was a bit OTT myself. I thought it was a bit over the top for me.
He was all the Fast and Furious villains up until now have been pretty self-serious. Charlize Theron and John Cena's character and I don't know. I mean, they've all been Jason Statham. Either they become part of the team or they're just, you don't remember. Like, I can't even remember the guy from Fast and Furious number 4. And
I couldn't tell you a thing about 4.
Yeah. But Momoa is having a good time, and I enjoyed every moment of him cheering up the scenery. I thought it was just a lot of fun. He doesn't give 2 shits. And he's like, when he's sitting there with a couple of dead henchmen that are taped up, he's like having this conversation with them. I don't know. I miss an over-the-top, hilarious bad guy, but is clearly, he never takes it to the point that you don't feel like he's dangerous, but it has kind of a Joker vibe to him. He might be gay. I don't know.
I say, personally, I don't know. It was just pushing it a bit too much for me. I thought.
Fair enough. I thought he was one of the best things about the movie because I was really engaged with him as a character, and I remember what he did. But he puts out this fake shit about a chip or something that's in Italy.
In transport, yeah.
And so Roman finally gets his moment to shine. He's going to lead the team. Vin Diesel's not a part of it. Michelle Rodriguez is not a part of it. And he's going to lead the team to do this thing. In the meantime, Cypher, Charlize Theron's character, shows up at Dom's door, injured. And, she's like, it's kind of an enemy of my enemy is my friend scenario. Because Momoa has gone in and taken all her resources. And he did this by, you talk about his family a pain in the ass. It's like every single one of these henchmen apparently have a kid. I just kind of like, really?
Jonathan.
It's like, are all these horrible criminals in Cypher's organization just go home to, to the wife and kids? Like, how's your day, dear? Oh, fine. That's Jimmy in first grade.
Again, it made me think of Austin Powers, where nobody ever thinks of the henchman's family.
Yeah. Apparently they all had families, except for one guy who Momoa immediately blows away because he's like, I got no leverage on him, so bam, bam. And so she gets away. Some of that was a little over the top because it's like this, little Charlize Theron trying to hold her own against these big guys. That part drives me crazy. I wish that, would lead into where she's a little bit more desperate. She has to use different weapons and things like that to make it work. But it wasn't the worst. It wasn't like Charlie's Angels bad. And so then he gets away with, she says he's after you and your team and everything. So they go up to Italy. They realize that it's all a trap up there because little nobody comes in saying, have you seen your team? It's like, I thought they were with you. He's like, we don't have a thing going on in Italy. And like, oh shit. Yeah. Why didn't Roman maybe give little nobody a phone call or something? And nobody talked to him, I guess, until they were out there.
Because Ludacris at one point says, no, I checked out, everything's fine. So everything seemed legit.
Well, who did he check with? He obviously didn't check with little nobody.
Google. Is there a thing you go, yeah. Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah.
Wikipedia says we're good. So, so they go up there, and it turns out they everything goes well, and they are able to hijack the truck that supposedly holds this chip, and then they get locked in. That's when Momoa remote controls the truck, and there's a giant Batman bomb from The Dark Knight Rises, a big sphere in there, and through I don't even want to explain all the wacky shenanigans that go on with the cars and everything, but the bomb goes off. They are managed to keep it, they get it into the river, so the damage isn't nearly as bad. But because of this, everybody gets framed, and they all have to go off separately.
They're all set up. It's basically a setup for Dom, because it looks like Dom and the team have tried to blow up the Vatican.
So Letty gets sent. She's the only one who gets captured. She gets sent down the Antarctic where where Cypher is being held. And this is where I really laughed, because they're both strapped down to a gurney, right? And they're like in this big pit. And around the top are all these windows where everybody is watching them through the windows up in a different room, right?
Yeah.
And so Cypher, because she's got magic computer powers, she pulls a couple of wires, and then she hits something on there which gasses everybody in the room. I'm like, why is that control on that bed? Why?
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, on the electronic handcuffs, what you want is a Wi-Fi connection to the secret gas in the air conditioning unit.
Why is that even? It reminded me of The Emperor's New Groove, where she's like, why do we even have this lever? Why is that even possible? It's like, well, because she has magic computer powers. That's why.
Yeah. As we know, hacking is as easy as,
well,
apparently.
She's even better at it. She removes actual wires from the thing.
Well, yeah.
Which clearly makes it better. Because whenever I remove wires from my computer, it always works a lot better.
Have you been trying to hack again, Yoda? Shut up.
Covered in wires, hair's on fire, black marks all over my face. But no, she hits a thing, and I had to pause it because I was laughing so hard. It's like, there is no reason you would put that ability on a fucking prisoner bed like that. It makes no sense.
Also, the other bit that got me about that whole scene was this secret utility and everything else has only simply got one room where they put both prisoners, and it's like, sure, keep them apart. I don't put them together. You know, why would you put them next to each other?
Why is she there? Like Cypher, it's a medical thing, I think, because they're healing her up. But it's like, why is Cypher there? If she's probably been down there for a little bit, why is she in there in that room at that same time? Well, I'm going to guess that Brie Larson set that up.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, that makes sense. I suppose. Yeah.
But is Brie Larson working with Cypher? Because Cypher said she had a plan, and then they get turns out they're in the Antarctic, so they get the parkas and everything. And after they have a pointless fight just because Letty's mad at her, which understandably so, but
enough.
Still,
yeah.
They go up and they hike across the Antarctic to get to the sub, which clearly Cypher had pulled in. And oh, by the way, guess who's on the sub? Giselle, who died in 6.
Yeah. And
she
again,
got better.
What got? That's my favourite line in Top Secret, when it's like going, "What's the condition of Agent so and so? Okay, let me know if there's any change in his condition." He's dead.
He's dead.
The bit that got me as well was, the bit that got me as well. Every time there was something was going to happen, it was all perfectly timed. I love the fact that Letty and Charlize Theron go over the hill just as the submarine comes up, and the amount of times Momoa would sort of go, "Oh well, so and so and so and so," and then it's like, "Oh, they'd all turn up just at that second," like they're going, "No, wait, no." He said it now. Go now. Like, it was just, it was. Yeah,
okay, so Dom and Letty are in Italy. Letty gets captured. Dom goes on the run. He meets up with Jason Statham's mom,
Helen Mirren. Yeah.
Where she gives us some information. Meanwhile, Han, Ramsey, Tej, and Roman are all on the run. Roman apparently has decided that bags suck, so he keeps all his money on his body. Just under
all the time as well.
All the time.
So again,
good thing he did that, because apparently Jason Momoa was able to steal all their money from all their wherever they kept it. They kept talking about blockchain or something.
But again, it was kind of like, right, what happens the other day when we were at the pool party and I pushed you in the pool? Were you wearing the money then? Stuff.
Now, I did like that at one point with those three, Roman, actually has a moment where he's not the butt of the joke. He's like, I really screwed up. I don't know how to lead. And this is all my fault. It was a nice moment. And, character growth. Okay, good enough. I'm happy.
Nice.
I'm happy. And so they get on a plane and they're going to try to, I don't know what they're going to try to do. They're trying to they get Jason Statham. At that point,
that's right.
The new Mr. Nobody is going after all the team because they think they blew up Italy. And so...
Oh, right. No, again, sorry, just to interrupt. That's another scene that got me was Mr. Nobody's daughter, Brie Larson, meets up with Alan Richter, who plays Reacher in the Amazon series, who's great. I love her. But that... Who has an office like that with just big screens around them? I was looking at it going, who designed that? As opposed to having like an office like we've got with stuff awesome that. It's just a big open room with massive screens on there, but showing everything that he's talking about. Again,
it's a mess. And she gets in there because she stole a key off a guard or something. I wish our government was this competent.
Right, sorry, Gator, shut up. All right, it's not the point. Shut up. No, go on.
Stop saying logical stuff. This is a Fast and Furious movie. So Dom gets caught by the Reacher guy, and then they end up on the same, because he goes down to Brazil. That's right. To get, why did he go down to Brazil? I guess because they figured out that Jason Momoa
to meet up with his dead wife's sister. That's why.
Well, he didn't know she was going to be down there. He recognized her But I don't think that's why he went down there. I think he went down there to confront Momoa and to get some help.
No, I think they went down there because they had the budget to go down there, so they did.
Wow. Yeah.
And Vin Diesel wanted to get a tan, so
It's Carnival, baby.
yeah, exactly.
So they get down there and they have to have their requisite street race with Jason Momoa.
You set everything up perfectly for them.
Yeah, and he doesn't win the race because Momoa, I guess you could say, cheats. He blows up cars.
It's a little bit cheating in a street race to put a bomb on another person's car. That is, I think that is classist. Hang on a minute, let me just check the rule book. Yeah, he's cheating. Yes.
Okay. And of course, Dom say so. It's the four of them in this race. Why is there four of them in this race? Well, it was clearly between Dom and Jason Momoa. I don't know why the other two are in the race. It made no sense other than for the hostage or for the saving lives aspect. It was the only reason
for somebody non-important to die.
Exactly. So he's able to save her by knocking her car into something which scrapes the bomb off.
Again, it was so
physics are
badly,
simply suggestions.
Yeah, that's right.
Just understand
basically,
that, okay.
if you believe enough that something's going to happen, it will.
So then he has the street race with Momoa. He gets caught in Momoa's lair, and because he figures out he's in that old police station that's been abandoned since Fast 5, and they capture him, and they're on the bridge, and that's when Momoa's team comes in to get him, and then Reacher says, "Well, I guess I'm believing you now, Dom, that it isn't all your fault." So then
the guy that died was from Fast and Furious 5. Like it matters.
He was.
Well, but like it matters.
No, if it mattered, well, he died. Do you think? We got 3 more movies. He could come back.
Yeah, that's right. I got a bit of a burn, but I was fine. I've got a scar.
I put a Band-Aid. And I was a little Bactine. It was fine.
Oh, yeah.
So then Dom is being helped by Reacher, and they're going to go after... okay. All right. No, I need to take a step back. So then... While all this is going on, then John Cena's character, is the brother, goes in to rescue the son and Mia. And they have this huge, fight shootout where the federal agents are coming in and, but I mean, it's John Cena. You got no chance. And he takes the kid and they do all this rigmarole, like they're going kayaking in a real shitty car, but they get on a plane.
Basically, John Cena then babysits for the rest of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is to lose the people, but they have to be... He said something really nonsensical. It's like, well, you can't lose a tail. In order to lose a tail, you have to let him find you first. I'm like going, what?
No.
Makes no sense.
I'm no James Bond, but even I know that's a bad idea.
Yeah. But it was all to get them on this plane to find out that the kayak was not really a kayak. It was a portable plane. They got in and put
again,
out
that was
the
just...
passengers.
Okay, right. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade... In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, there is a plane underneath the blimp, the airship that takes off, right? Yeah, right. Which makes perfect sense, right? I love the fact they go down to steerage, which is generally absolutely chock-a-block full of stuff, but there's enough room for them to move around. And then also, what kind of a fuel does it run on? Oh, a couple of little bottles of vodka. It's fine. Again, it was just kind of like, right. This is 5-year-old. This is Homer Simpson going, one for me, one for you, one for me with the alcoholic run car,
So they get him in the plane from 30,000 feet. They
kill everyone on board.
It's like a bat. It's like canvas wings or something. It's really weird. And they are able to get right to where they need to be which is some secret hideout that Cena has. I don't know if I blinked for a second, but somehow they got found there, and I'm not sure how that happened. But so then they're in a chase so then the kid and John Cena get into this car that is covered with rockets, bazookas.
Again, because one thing I've always felt is missing on my car is some form of bomb launcher. I've got a stereo, I've got air conditioning. I haven't got a bomb launcher, which is always really annoying. It would
cut down on road rage incidents for me if I could just.
Yeah.
Come on, Grandma. The light is green. Bam.
But that device was there, so something could happen later, which we won't spoil. But apparently, it was supposed to be an emotional moment. But I did watch it.
The kid had a tracking device. That's right. He did have a tracking.
He'll be back. But yeah, go on anyway.
So then that's when Dom meets up with him, and he's being chased by all of Momoa's men, or a lot of them. I don't know. There's like 75,000 cars chasing this rocket car. And I call it a rocket car. It didn't have rockets on it. It launched rockets. That's what it did.
I thought it was going to be a rocket car, but yeah.
It's a bazooka car. So yeah, you guys are. I know this sounds like I'm making fun of it, and I didn't like the movie. I absolutely love the movie, but I think I loved it for its retardedness. I don't know. I can't explain it, guys. I'm not proud of this. Okay, I'm not proud of any of this.
But that's the whole thing. It's like I say, the movies have got so out of hand. You expect them to be ultra stupid, but you are sat there going, it's good though, isn't it? It's like, you're having fun, right?
Fun. It's freaking fun. So, and part of the fun is laughing at the absurdity of it all, I think.
Yeah.
So Dom they're in one of those big cargo jets, and he's got his car with him because of course he does, and he gets in the car, and they back him out of the jet right over the bridge or the highway or whatever, and he lands and smushes two cars, and the car's fine. You know?
Again, just coming back to this point about the car being fine. I love the fact that in the beginning, his car, this big bomb that's going off, this unbelievably massive bomb that's going off. He smashes that a few times. He drives off a bridge, into a crane, into a wall, and his car keeps driving.
For the giant spear bomb in Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, right, if my car goes over a 2-inch pothole, I've got to get it towed home.
Right. Yeah.
You know, whereas his cars, they can do anything.
They're magic cars. So they were made by the same dealer that gave the Blues Brothers their car.
Yes.
So he gets into this crazy thing, and then they manage to get with Cena, and Cena and him do this weird thing where they spin the cars around, and he basically just throws the kid into Vin Diesel's car.
Yeah, and it is very much a kind of like, okay, kid, you remember that thing we practiced at home? Okay, we're going to do that.
Yeah, he did. He's like, you remember that thing we practiced? Like, you practiced this?
Even though Jason Momoa is trying to kill you, I'm going to do it for him, all right?
Jesus Christ. So he takes the kid then, and John Cena sacrifices himself by turning all the rockets straight down at the ground, and then the thing shoots them off, and it Knight Riders turbo boosts itself and flips over, and then the whole thing explodes. Everything explodes. It's like, oh, John Cena's dead. Is he though?
Yeah.
Is he?
Again, he'll be back. I thought that was supposed to be quite a touching moment, but I did think to myself, yes, no.
I'm laughing. So,
yeah.
So then they end up on a dam, and Momoa has two semis full of gas.
Turn
ready
up
for this moment.
At the exact moment, yeah.
The man's a planner. You got to give him that. Oh, yeah. He is a planner. Yeah. He may be
if
an
you can be there
psychopath.
By 4:00, should be fine.
Yeah. And they're remote control. So then he smashes them into each other, which of course they all explode. And this is where Vin Diesel, you probably saw this trailer, drives off the dam. And he's going straight. I'm gone. I'm laughing so hard. And they end up in the water. They're okay. They're fine. And that's where Momoa has his ultimate plan where he's got bombs all over the dam. He's about ready to blow up the dam. And it's like, how are they going to get out of this? And in the meantime, we find out that the reason why it went this bad is because the Reacher character has been working with them all along, which it seems like he should have been. He could have made things a lot easier for him way earlier. Instead of tossing Dom a gun, he could have shot Dom, I'm guessing, and saved them a lot of headache.
There were so many opportunities where they could have just shot Jason Momoa and they just didn't do it. And I kept thinking, he's right there. You've got to just right there.
Well, why'd the Reacher character keep helping Dom when if he could just? I mean, you say, oh, you shot him in the leg. Okay, you could have shot him in the leg or injured him or something. Him and Momoa could have taken him, and then they could have gone after the kid, which just then he would have got the kid because it wouldn't have had Vin Diesel and his magic car saving everybody. I'm gonna go, okay, you wouldn't have needed to blow up a dam and all this other stuff, but okay, guy's a sociopath, whatever. And then that we find this out because at the same time, Tej, Ramsey, they all come in their plane, and Reacher shoots the engine, and then the plane goes over the hill and explodes. So they're dead. Sure. I believe they're dead.
Again, the whole thing was ridiculous, but at the same time, I found myself laughing very heartily at the whole thing. It was, like I say, I always put movies into two categories: pieces of artwork and entertainment. Sometimes they cross over, but most of the time they keep themselves separate. This was firmly on the side of just entertainment. It was fun. And I laughed quite heartily, probably at places I shouldn't have done, but the whole thing was ridiculously good fun.
It's unintentional fun, and then at the end we find out when Letty and Cypher find the submarine, which I think was from Fast 8, and Giselle is on it, so she's alive, and then the mid-credit scene. I don't know if you watched that.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa is like, there's a team that's breaking into this whatever they're breaking into to arrest Momoa, but Momoa isn't there.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's Hobbs. And Momoa says, yeah, I went after Dom, but I know you were the one that pulled the trigger on my dad. So Hobbs is going to be back. They're bringing all the band back together. Who cares if they were dead?
It was the only person I didn't see was Paul Walker, so I hope he's okay.
Yeah, but funnily enough, he's the only guy that's still technically alive in this universe.
Ironically. So that was Fast 10. Like I say, it was one of those films. It was utterly bloody stupid, but it was entertaining. Ultimately, I think, because I know Aggie's not been a fan of the franchise, but ultimately, if you've enjoyed the others, you'll enjoy this one. If you haven't, probably best to stay away. I don't think this is going to change your mind.
I'm not apologizing for my love of these movies anymore, or saying, yeah, I know, but, or anything like that. Nah, these movies are unapologetically trying to entertain me, which is more than I could say for anything else out there right now. And if that's all you're wanting to do is let me have a good time at various different levels, and you're leaning into the stupid and you know it, but you just want us to have a good time. Yeah. How can I hate something like that? And it's fun. I had a ball. If you say, I can't stand those movies, they're so stupid, I can't deal with it, you're absolutely justified in feeling that way. I don't blame you one bit. I don't expect everybody to have their cup of tea. But I know what they are. They know what they are. They know they're stupid. I know they're stupid. They know I know they're stupid, and they just want us to have a good time. And I'm like, going, you know what? You've earned my loyalty. I'm gonna be there watching the next one. I'm having a good time. You guys are having a good time, and that's all that matters. Great.
I can't remember the last time watching a movie like this that I was just that entertained. Even Guardians, like I say, there was still stuff in there
Top
that was
Gun.
just
Top Gun, I would
Yeah, I
say I was
suppose.
having that good a time. That's
Yeah,
the
I
last
suppose.
time I was really just
invested.
I just was invested and swept along and wanted to rewatch it again. Thank you for watching this excerpt from Outpost Frequencies. Tune in live every Sunday at noon Central Time or 6 o'clock UK time. And also, remember to come to lastmovieoutpost.com for all your latest in movie news, streaming news, and everything cool about film. We are the cool news now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream.